ground black pepper, salt, great value Wally's World Italian seasoning, Badia onion powder, Badia garlic powder, and parsley flakes that we didn't use because we had fresh parsley that we didn't use. 2 cans of condensed cream of chicken soup, 2 packets of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. There we go. 16 ounces of sour cream, extra virgin olive oil, Wally's World, whole milk, and 1 of 2 packets of boneless, skinless chicken thighs that we're going to put in our recipe. And there you have it as far as ingredients and seasonings. But I forgot that we had our French style green beans, which was frozen and I will never get again because they were split in half. But we was trying to save time. And we got our home style mashed potatoes. Like I said, this is a quick, easy meal that anybody can make. Give it a try. Running the dishwater here, we're going to clean our dishes and sanitize our sink because that's what we built. We will be washing our meat and stopbeingnasty.com. So here we are. I cut up some lime, squeeze the lime juice in the water and clean the chicken. And I also trimmed off any excess fat from our boneless, skinless chicken thighs, transfer them to a plate, patted them dry, and now we're ready to season it. So as you can see here, I'm coming over the top with my ground black pepper. You could put whatever seasons you want into this dish and however much you want, but I'm continuing with my theme of not too much salt and also seasoning in rounds. Here we are with the salt. And when you add all these seasonings, you know, get your hands dirty, rub them, get them all incorporated, rub them into the meat, you know, get them all in the cracks and crevices, you know. So we got our ground black pepper and salt. And then here we are right here. Next up, after we did that, we came with our Badia garlic powder over the top. Once again, boom. Get that all in there, spread it around evenly as we can. And we come back behind that again with the Badia onion powder. Same routine. Go around in a circle, hit that middle piece, you know. And lastly, here we are. Great value brand Wally's World or Walmart Italian seasoning. We gonna spread that around too. So after this, like I said, I had to get my hands dirty, rub down on the meat, incorporate all the seasonings. Forgot to mention that I melted a whole stick of salted butter in the microwave. This will be used to baste our chicken. I put that on about 1.5 minutes. Hit start on that bad boy and get that melted. We got our skillet here on the stove, and we're gonna come in here with our great value extra virgin olive oil inside our skillet. This meat will be simmered over medium heat, as you will see here, 5 minutes on each side, and baste it before flipping it. So as we see, you know, the grease is hot now. Did the old school flick with the water. It went to crackling. Started crackling. So I said, okay, we ready to go. So bottom side down with the tongs. Started putting the meat in there. This is 2 batches of chicken, but I had to cook it in 3 batches because I didn't want to overcrowd the pan. So this pan right here alone is going to have about 5 of those bad boys in there. You know, that's the 3rd one right there. But to not overcrowd the pan, I had to cook 2 batches of chicken in 3 batches. And once again, this came out great. But moving forward, if I make it again, I will prefer it with the chicken breast. But try it like this if you like thighs. It's awesome, you know. So here we are. 5 minutes is complete. Just before the flip, we basting it with our salted butter. And here we are cooking the other side. And as you see, like I said in the prior video episode of Chef Bo, I do not like a heavy sear, especially when you're dealing with sauces and gravy, because that heavy sear and caramelization to me sometimes comes off into the sauce or the gravy and kind of makes it look like it's a whole bunch of pepper in there. I don't like that look, so I do a light sear. I know it's pretty and all, but I prefer a light sear. So 5 minutes on the other side is complete, and here I am taking the meat out of the skillet. As you can see, those seasonings and that flavor is starting to accumulate on the bottom of our skillet there. Do not be scared of that. It's all that's pure. Don't be scared of that at all. Pure goodness. I'm not gonna go through the whole cooking process of the second batch, but as you can see here, I was adding in the second batch of chicken. No need to add any more oil. I didn't. You know, The meat has its own fat. Run some water, drop those dishes in there, clean as you go, save yourself some time. So here we got a Dutch oven, medium heat. Recipe calls for about 1.5 cups of whole milk, but because of the amount of meat that I have, I'm not just cooking for myself. We put 3 cups of whole milk inside of the saucepan. Because of the recipe, instead of 1 can of condensed cream of chicken soup, we have 2 cans. Afterwards, I came over the top with onion powder. I'm following the recipe to the T, but put whatever seasonings you would like. I only use 1 packet of Hidden Valley ranch seasoning because I wanted to taste it and see how it tasted. I didn't want it to overpower. I didn't wind up using a second one. 1 was good enough. Recipe calls for 8 ounces or 1 cup of sour cream, but once again, because of the amount of meat, I added the full 16 ounces. And then I began to break everything down and stir that up and get that all mixed together and incorporated and get it good and collaborating and everything else, you know what I'm saying? So we're working on our creamy ranch sauce right here. So once again, it's garlic powder, it's condensed cream of chicken soup, it's whole milk, and it's sour cream and Hidden Valley ranch seasoning. Chef Fo creamy ranch chicken recipe. Like, share, subscribe. My onion was spoiled, so I had 2 really small onions, so I sauteed them in a little bit of that oil left in the pan and scraped up just some of that flavoring off the bottom of that skillet and introduced that into the sauce mixture just to take things to the next level, and it sure did. So as you can see, I'm mixing that in here. And we want to bring this to a simmer, a light simmer, because the chicken is pretty much done, and you want to simmer this for about 25 minutes. So my next step, as you can see, I got my tongs here. I'm adding the chicken pieces into the sauce mixture, and you want them fully submerged. Get them down in there deep, son. You want them in there deep. You want them all in the pool, like Quang Trang say. Get them in the pool. We don't care if they can swim. You want them all in the pool. You want to bring this thing up to temperature enough to get a light simmer on it. You know, as you can see, a few minutes in, as it's coming up to a simmer, the color is already starting to change, you know. So I decided at that point to saute with some little bit of shallot, butter, and minced garlic, our French cut string beans. As you can see, they were cut in half. So here we are 20 minutes in. I said, let me get this thing a taste test. And no, it did not need another packet of ranch. That was perfect for me. So as you can see here, I'm showing the dishes. This is the end of the process. I had to leave, I had to rush, I had to put something in my stomach. So I made my plate now so y'all can see it. But I didn't like the color of the sauce. So though the recipe didn't call for it, when I returned home, I put it in an aluminum pan and I put it in the oven for an additional 30-35 minutes. And it came out like a real nice golden yellow color that, you know, and it tasted even better. But you don't get to see that here. But as you can see, look at the string beans, man. Like, share, subscribe, man. Salute to everybody watching the channel, man. Chef Fo.